regular session.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Duckins and second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor of,
And
say aye.
we need a roll call, I guess. Start.
Commissioner Aguilar. Secretary
Yes, ma'am.
and Commissioner Duggins.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. So we go to 13, right?
Yeah.
We're going to 13?
Yes.
Okay, well then we'll walk to 13, item 13, action items.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, I, for the record, this dairy, Ha Dairy, Wilbur's, Luke Wilbur is in our audience there. Luke, you're welcome to come to the mic here and state your name and tell us what this road or the railroad crossing closing means to you. But I, on record, I do business with these people. I enjoy doing business with these people, and I don't feel comfortable making the motion, but I certainly will vote for it. And with that said, Luke, you're welcome to say a few words. This is Luke Wilbur.
Chairman, Commissioners, my name is Luke Wilbur. I'm one of the partners of HAW Farms in northern Socorro County. It's a family operation, both my parents and my family. We milk about 3,000 cows. Been there for the last 18 years. Have the majority of our access from Valencia County across Military Highway. It crosses the train tracks there, right on the county line. And as of the last couple of years, the railroad has been trying to close that crossing. I'd like to thank you guys for helping us over the last couple of years in support of not closing that crossing. That access is about 1.75 miles to pavement from the dairy there, and our alternative is 5 miles. The other access road is Ingreso Drive, which is in Socorro County, and that's what we've been working with Commissioner Duggins and Mr. Hawks on perhaps getting that maintained to help us out from the standpoint. The railroad came in about a month ago on a Friday and told us the crossing would be closed that month. They took an excavator and then dug up each side of the back so that we couldn't get across or you would attempt to. So that's in a nutshell the basic situation we're in. Once again, I'd like to thank you guys for your support over the last couple of years and helping us try and fight them from closing the crossing. But that's where we're at today.
All right. In reference to that, the county understands that the road closed Becker crossing off of Military Highway in Valencia County, leaving the dairy without adequate access. I move that the county temporarily maintain Ingreso Road pending a hearing and determination before the PRC regarding the closing of Becker crossing.
That's your motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I will second that motion. Motion was made by Commissioner Aguilar, second by Commissioner Secretary. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
I'll invite the vote.
All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye.
So there you have it.
There you have it, okay. So we can go back up to originally action items. So that will be 10 and 10A. Consideration of resolution 2023-75 Socorro County travel per diem mileage policy. Mr. Hobbs?
Thank you, Chairman, Secretary, Commissioner. I have our finance director here. This is one of the items she would like to introduce.
Chairman, Commissioners, so the travel policy, mileage and per diem policy that you have in front of you, I'm just presenting some minor changes specifically in section 6.1. Our procedures in the past, we follow the GSA mileage rates, and then the new policy, it switched it to the IRS. So this is just to switch it back to what we follow in the procedure. It also switched it from previous year or current year rates to previous year rates. So this is just flipping it back, so it maintained the procedure. And then I added in the 22 cents that's acknowledged in the GSA mileage and per diem schedule for when a person chooses to use a personal vehicle whenever a government vehicle is available. Our auditors staff that we just identify that in our future policies so that it's clearly spelled out, even though we have the GSA schedule. So those are the only changes that are taking place in the revised policy that you have in front of you today.
No raise.
No.
Well, the Biden economics, I was hoping to make a little more money.
Thank you, Ms. Vega. Commissioners, you guys have anything to add to that? Any questions?
Does many people in the county, is it used very much?
Yeah.
It is?
Well, we had probably about 30 travelers in the first quarter.
Really?
Okay. Mike, what's your recommendation in terms of?
I recommend we pass.
Well, I'll make the motion to accept it and pass.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion was made by Commissioner Duggins, second by Aguilar. All in favor of? Aye. Aye. Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Vega. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to item 10B, consideration of resolution 2023-76, miscellaneous budget agreement.
Vice Chair, Commissioner, so the bar you have in front of you, I kind of spelled it out, but I'll just go through it item by item so you know what I'm requesting adjusted. The first is going to be for the state fire alarm. We budget in the prior fiscal year and we don't know the actual numbers until the current fiscal year. So this is just changing those figures to acknowledge what was actually allotted to our fire departments. The second is going to be funding for the FY24 LGRF awards. Those will be as well this fiscal year. So this is just adjusting the budget to acknowledge that we will receive those revenues and also make those expenses towards road improvements. The next is going to be your county manager contract that you approved, I think, in July or August. So this is just to increase those expenses where you approved that contract. And then you have the Clean and Beautiful grant for $6,500. This is to acknowledge the revenue and then the expenses on the other side. The agricultural agent, you approved a $30,000 increase at the 8/22 board meeting. So this is just increasing that. And then you have the law enforcement recruitment fund. For the first fiscal year that we're allowed to use it, it's the $225,000. So this is acknowledging the revenue and then the expense on the other side. And then the next two are going to be closing of the senior center account and reverting all of the cash we put in to maintain the account back into the general fund. And then the same for the literacy account. It was subsidized by the general fund, so that's returning those funds. And then the final one is for your project accounts for the commission. So that's just adding the interest income and then the professional services that we're working in Hub Cabinet for the phase one. And I'll probably continue to adjust this throughout the fiscal year as your projects are approved and you move along with that fund. And that's it. The rest of the packet is just backup documentation for each transaction that you see here.
Okay, John, any questions? Thank you very much, Jacob, for that presentation. Gentlemen, do I have anybody to entertain a motion for that?
That needs some, yeah, I'll make the motion.
You know, second,
Motion was made by Commissioner Duggins to accept the so second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. We'll go to the next one. Item 10C, consideration of resolution 2023-77 FY 24 DFA first quarter report. Ms. Vega.
Vice Chair, Commissioners, so what you have in front of you is going to be the revenue and expense reporting for the first quarter of FY 24. I did go through and there's nothing that stands out completely to me except for when you look at Fund 410. That's the Northern Volunteer Fire Department. They do have expenses remaining like 22%, but that is because they chose to use their reserve funds that rolled over into from last year to this year to make a purchase. So you'll see a bar in the second quarter to acknowledge the fact that they're using cash from the prior year. So it's not a concern, but that's the only one that'll stand out to you. And there's nothing else of note so far this quarter.
That's an action item, or is it information action? I'll make the motion that we approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion was made by Commissioner Duggins, second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm slipping a little. Ray Martinez, our chair, asked me, I better say before it gets too far, asked me to remind you guys of the DOT winter planning meeting, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 12. And he was saying that might be a good place for the Alamo to ask for money for your water situations out there and other things that you have. And it'll be here at the annex. And then there's a legislative meeting for capital outlay. It's a legislative, is it priority, what? And there's where we ask for everything that we need, our list, but San Antonio Water's invited, Palmadera Water, Alamo Chapter Schools, Magdalena and Socorro, New Mexico Tech, VLA, Village of Magdalena and Socorro. And anybody is welcome to attend.
Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing that information, Commissioner Duggins. Okay, any other questions? All right, let's go and move on to item 10D, consideration of resolution 2023-78, supporting the New Mexico counties 2024 legislation priorities. Chalks.
Thank you, Commissioner, Secretary, Commissioners. In your packet is the resolutions that New Mexico counties asked us to put on our agenda. And also Chairman asked that it be put on the agenda to pass a resolution supporting the New Mexico counties legislative priorities. And they're listed within the resolution. And I would recommend do pass.
I'll make the motion that we accept and pass it.
Second that.
Okay, the motion was made by Commissioner Duggins, second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's go and move on to 10E, consideration of contract with Normative Architecture PC for courthouse window assessment.
Thank you, Chairman, Secretary, Commissioners. This, just so you know, this is well within my signing authority that the commission has authorized for me. However, I wanted it to be on the agenda to make public notice that what work we're doing on the courthouse and how we're moving along with that phased project. And again, I'd recommend a due pass to allow me to sign that and move forward with at least phase one of the project. I believe we have 710,000. And I do have a meeting with the district court tomorrow because we're jointly putting in for other monies that the state has and hopefully trying to finish off this project with is estimated to be about 2.7 million. So again, I would recommend a due pass for signature.
Mr. Chairman, Manager Hawks, is this, does that include that solar stuff and water efficiencies?
That was already paid for and that was already done.
Well, this
This
is
augments the solar, this augments the energy efficiency.
2 million something
That's what,
for windows.
well, historics, we have to abide by historics. We have an estimate what it would take without some of their regulations, about $500,000, but once they get involved, and we're hoping we can introduce an expert that'll convince them what we're gonna do is sufficient. But if not, estimates as high as 2.7.
It's, I just, being here has really opened my eyes to what government pays. It's not that we want to pay that much money. It's like we have to do things the legal way, the right way, the engineered way, I could take a backhoe and put a pipe in and make it work. But unfortunately, because of lawsuits and stuff, we have to do it the correct, expensive, slow way.
You recall when this was brought about? Spain.
It's ridiculous. But to lose that building would be a loss, a huge loss to the town. And it's a historical site that runs the cost of it up, right, Hawks?
Yes.
And I mean, it's just that little medical facility in Vidita costs close to $1 million, I think, 1,200 feet, It's not us, it's things that are forced on us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hawks. Anybody?
So we need to,
Yeah, we need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion that we carry on.
Okay, motion was made by motion was made by Commissioner Dunnins, second by Commissioner Aguilar, all in favor of? Aye. All right. Okay, let's go and move on to 10F, approval of Socorro County Detention Center Restricted Housing Quarterly Report.
Thank you, Chairman, Secretary, Commissioner. In your packet, you have the necessary filing of the quarterly report from the detention center regarding restricted housing.
Okay, were you guys able to take a look at that?
No, they need to accept it.
So you just need the, an action to accept it.
So would you, that would be with a motion, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
I make the motion to, so we, what is that?
just, yeah,
They get Lynn.
yeah, we can.
Big start.
Which is.
Just bear with us.
bill requires raised signature. Sorry.
You know, it's hard for me to sit down that long.
Can't leave yet.
So be assigned. Okay, we will continue now. Commissioner Adler, as you were saying.
Make a motion to approve, Socorro County Detention Center Restricted Housing Quarterly Report.
And I'll second that.
Okay, motion was made by Commissioner Aguilar, second by Commissioner Duggins. All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, gentlemen. We'll move on to 10G, consideration of resolution 2023-79, amending the road use and maintenance agreement with SunZia.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, we currently have a road maintenance agreement with SunZia that's doing the transmission line. Certainly they provide community benefits, but they're also guaranteeing and they're improving the roads that they're going to use to the same or the better standard that they're already at. This particular, they came to us a little while ago to do this resolution to amend the previous agreement, and really what it's doing, it's adding two very small portions of road to access their line in the northeast corner section of the county. So I recommend approval on this.
And I'll make that motion that we approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Attorney Moss. The motion was made by Commissioner Duggins, second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much. Let's go move on to 10H, acknowledge personnel changes. Does anybody want to take that?
Personnel changes. James Medina, Detention Center, resigned. Damian Hyman, Detention Center, resigned. Martika Padilla, Detention Center, terminated. Timothy Gutierrez, Sheriff's Department, resigned. Valentin Soto Paz, Detention Officer, rehired.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that concludes our action items. Let's go to move on to item 11, financial action items. I know in previous meetings we have combined A and B together. So does anybody like to take that motion?
I don't have one list if you have them both.
Is that combined?
So
Combined. Okay, we'll make the motion to combine vendor checks and payroll checks. Vendor checks $479,525.65. Payroll checks $241,407.13.
The date. I'll second that.
Okay.
For October 20.
The date for payroll is October 24th. The vendor check is October 20th. Do a second?
Yeah.
Okay, motion was made by Commissioner Aguilar, second by Commissioner Duggins. All in favor of?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So at that point, let's go ahead and jump to 14. Next commission meeting will be November 14th, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Annex building. Item 15, adjournment. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, ma'am.
So on November 14th, I'd like for them to add on to the agenda that we will be canvassing at that meeting. Election is November the 7th.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
To do this before 10 days.
That she wants to add on that on the 14th, we'll be
Yeah.
canvassing, add that onto the agenda.
We could add that on the agenda for, November 14th meeting. And this is the result for the November 7th election.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. Thank you very much. Staff, thank you very much for all you do. And you guys have a safe travel home. Ma'am, thank you very much for attending. Commissioners, you guys be safe until next time. Thank you very much and meeting adjourned. And
You go hunting, don't wear horns, no.
6:10.
6:20.
Keep the horns.
Meeting adjourned at 6:20.